Good afternoon. We're joining you with breaking news today. The nation's latest mass shooting is at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs. Here's what we know right now. Police say 5 people are dead and at least 25 others are hurt after someone went into the Club Q nightclub on North Academy Boulevard and immediately started shooting. It happened just before midnight. Police say that 2 people at the club fought the shooter, preventing him from hurting more people. Police arrested the suspect and took him to a hospital. There were so many injured people, police say that they had to transport some of them in police cars instead of ambulances.
Club Q is a safe haven for our LGBTQ citizens. Every citizen has the right to feel safe and secure in our city.
Police are identifying the suspected shooter as 22-year-old Anderson Aldrich. They have not shared any details about his motive, but they're still looking into whether anyone helped the suspect. The FBI says it will help Colorado Springs police with the investigation. Last year, a man with the same name and age as the suspect was arrested on suspicion of felony menacing and kidnapping after telling El Paso County deputies that he had a homemade bomb, weapons, and ammunition. The sheriff's office evacuated part of the Lorson Ranch neighborhood and sent the bomb squad to investigate. They eventually arrested him. Now, we asked police whether it was the same Anderson Aldrich. They told us that this was part of the investigation. Now, for those looking for support during this heartbreaking time, All Souls Unitarian Church in Colorado Springs has opened its doors for all. 90s reporter Jaleesa Rosari joins us from there now. And Jaleesa, it sounds like the community really needed this.
Yeah, Chris, they certainly did. About an hour ago, this intersection behind me was covered with the overflow crowd of people waiting to get inside of All Souls Church into that vigil. But those people behind me actually created a vigil of their own. They were hugging and crying and really leaning on each other as they begin to process what exactly happened last night. Included in that crowd was Joseph Shelton, a member of the LGBTQ community. He tells us he dropped off his friend Ed at Club Q just minutes before the shooting last night. Joseph says Ed was shot twice but survived, but he says he can't help but feel responsible for Ed's pain.
My biggest worry is once I found out it happened, my bid was where I did come back to Ed. And I kind of played the victim on myself, and I said, I dropped him off. I left him there alone. And thankfully him and I talked about it, and he said there's nothing that could have prevented it, whether I stayed with him or not.
Now, Joseph tells us Ed is undergoing surgery right now, but he says last time he spoke to him, he was in good spirits. Chris, now he says the healing begins.
And Jaleesa, thanks for some of those stories there. Any other specific stories that you've heard from there in the community and from the church?
Yeah, a lot of the individuals here seem to have known the individuals that were killed last night. It appears that these people were prominent pillars in our community, advocates for transgender rights, and everyone seems to just be really hurting as they begin to process.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Jaleesa Rosari, thank you so much. Owners of LGBTQ nightclubs in Denver are hurting today. They say that even though Club Q is more than an hour away, they're all one big community.
Colorado Springs is such a close ally with the bars and stuff down there that I'm hoping that there's something down there, whether it's, not just for our community, but for the families. I just can't stop thinking about as these parents are finding out about their kids that were hurt or killed last night and how sad and devastating that is.
We asked Denver police if there would be extra precautions around LGBTQ clubs in Denver today. They told us they're paying attention and connecting with that community to discuss concerns. The LGBTQ community has been the target of this kind of mass violence before. More than 6 years ago, a gunman opened fire inside the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. 49 people died there. The One Pulse Foundation is holding a vigil this afternoon honoring the victims of the shooting at Club Q. They want the Colorado Springs community to know that Orlando is here for you. President Biden shared a statement today saying that he and the First Lady are praying for the families and the victims of all those injured. The president shared a statement saying in part, quote, "Places that are supposed to be safe spaces of acceptance and celebration should never be turned into places of terror and violence." Today, yet another community in America has been torn apart by gun violence. More families left with an empty chair at the table and hole in their lives that cannot be filled. When will we decide that we've had enough? The president called for a national assault weapons ban to prevent future shootings. Democratic Governor Jared Polis shared a statement calling the shooting, quote, horrific, sickening, and devastating. He said, quote, my heart breaks for the family and friends of those lost, injured, and traumatized in this horrific shooting. The governor thanked the people who helped stop the gunman and the first responders who arrived in the aftermath. Governor Polis is the country's first openly gay man to be elected governor. Now, we know that this is tough news to hear. If you are having a hard time today, help is available through the 24/7 Colorado Crisis Services hotline. You can call the number on your screen or text TALK, T-A-L-K, to 38255. Again, 38255. We have more resources specific to the LGBTQ community on 9news.com. We'll be back here on KTVD at 5 today with the latest on the shooting. We'll have more live updates tonight on 9 News at 10, and we'll keep 9news.com and the 9 News app updated with the latest information throughout the evening. Thanks for watching, and we'll now return you to the first 48.